Roselyn Owen here, coming back and answering a question, a great question by parents that I think as parents and leaders and teachers we all face, and that is what do we do with backchat and disrespect that comes from kids? It is a common problem, but a great question. And let me say that it's important that we tackle this with our kids for not only our sakes, but our kids' sakes. Because we probably know as adults that showing respect and love for people will impact their relationships. It will impact their working places. It will impact their success. So, we do want kids to realize that this is important. It's not just a childish behavior, but something we really want them to grab with because it will have tremendous impact on their future. Now, respect and backchat can come in lots of ways. It can come in the words that are spoken, it can come in the tone, or can come also in the physicality. So, I had a guiding rule to my children that eye rolling was not okay in our house, that they needed to show respect and love with their voice, with their words, and also with their physicality, if you like, with their bodies. And children are well able to understand that that is the culture in your family, then it's to be respected and abided by. They are completely capable of understanding that in different places there might be different rules or guidelines, but in your house, this is what we do. They're well able to understand that in school there might be another scenario, or going to grandma's house, she might have another set of rules, or basketball. But in our house, this is what we do. And we value each other and we love each other with our words, with our physicality, and with the tone of our voice. Okay, the most important thing, of course, is just making sure that we're holding up a good mirror for our kids. What do I mean? Well, are we modeling? Are we being the demonstration, the living lesson by the tone of our voice, the words that we use, and the physicality that we have with our children? Making sure that we're modeling what we want, the back chatter and the respect is being demonstrated by us, that we are that living example for them. Now, what happens when they lose it and you need to do a little bit of course correcting? Well, first thing I would try when kids are quite young, or it's just a spontaneous thing, you could quickly ask them, do you want to try that again? And just see if they can self correct and do a little auto adjustment right there on the spot because it was just a moment. Sometimes I found children well able to do that without very little prompt. Secondly, sometimes things are escalated, and you know those moments when you can feel like they're on a rant or a rave, and things are going to get worse, and you need a time to reset. And that's where in the workshop sometimes we talk about how you create a pause moment with non-fighting words. And so you might say to your child, it sounds like you need a moment just to reset and rethink about this. How about you go somewhere and you do that and come back when you're ready to show some respect and love? I know I've done this at the dinner table when some of my kids would come to the table and always hate what's on the table. Well, not every meal, but some meals go. And I felt like all the griping and complaining about the food was there. And I've just said, I'm so sorry, but I'm not feeling loved and respected at the moment. Would you like to go away from the table? Maybe come back and eat the meal when you're actually able to show some love and respect for my efforts of cooking. So thirdly, this one is really good for older children, particularly when you're in upper primary or teens, when they have been showing disrespect and they're well acquainted with your culture, but had a moment and haven't done self correcting. Just wait for the time when they are wanting you to do something extra for them, like a privilege if they're wanting to jump on Xbox and play some time, or if they're wanting you to take them to their basketball match or take them to a friend's place. And just quietly, with good modelling of that tone of voice and respect, for go, look, I actually only take people to basketball when I know I am respected as a person. Or I'm happy to give you your Xbox, but I need to know that I'm being loved and respected. And just let them know that there is something there at play. Remember those enforceable statements, I statements, not trying to make them do something, but statements you can enforce. And make sure you follow through. I hope you enjoyed those 3 quick tips for managing the behaviour. If you've heard any of my teachings or been in workshop, you realise that sometimes these teachings are one to deal with the behaviour because that's what's at hand as us parents and we need to quickly know what to do. But there's always the heart attitude afterwards. And when it comes to love and respect, sometimes you might have to find an open window with your child to come back to them and have a conversation about disrespect and what that does to the relationship, what it does to you, and even suggest to them that if there is a break or a disconnect or some pain, what are they going to do to fix it up? And how are they going to repair something? It's what we call sometimes handing a problem back to a child. That if their words, if their tone of voice or their physicality has caused that, then hand the problem back and see how they go trying to sort that out. Do a little bit of brainstorming with them maybe. Okay, hope that's helpful.